conversations and thoughts for close friends. You ever have one of those brainstorms where you come up with a brilliant idea and you want to document it? You want to document it. And of course, we don't use paper and pencil anymore. So we look to the nearest device: the cell phone, the pad, the PC, the big clunky fucker on the desk that, comes from the 90s or whatever. No, hopefully nobody has those anymore. Remember, Bill Gates said one time, "Why would anybody need more than 64K?" Holy shit. I can use up 64K taking a shit. So, anyway. So you come up with these ideas, and then you want to document them. If you're a creative type, I mean, I'm sure everybody comes up with ideas. It's probably just a normal human thing, Blah blah blee blue blah blah we did blah blah we did everybody's, their minds are cycling through all the possibilities of, future events and past events and, what you're suffering at that current moment or enjoying. And but some, those of us who have made a point of being creative, and, we studied creative people, and we want to, try to entertain people in a comedic, educational, or even evil way. We want to document this shit. So I'm pretty sure we've all had these experiences, right? You get a good idea, and then you look to the nearest thing where you can document the idea so you can relate it to friends and family and others later. And, pencil and paper is, I don't know, maybe that's available. In my house, it's easier to get to an electronic device, and so that's what I do. And that's what I did tonight. I had this fabulous fucking concept about, I can't fucking remember. That's the problem with not having pencil and paper around. These fucking electronic devices. I opened up the Microsoft program to document what I wanted to do, and the fucking thing went into automatic update mode. You don't have any choice about this shit. You just gotta sit there and watch and suffer as it takes over your computer. And all the while, you're forgetting what your brilliant idea was. So then you start stumbling around the house looking for a pencil and a paper, or a pen and a paper. Now, honestly, I have no use for those anymore. So I do have paper. It's in the printer that doesn't work anymore. The printer rusted out. I live at the beach, and you got all the humidity, and went to print something out one day, and it just said, that little screen that comes up, and I hit the print button, and then this hand came up with a middle finger extended. And I got it. It's like, I guess that's the way printers die. It's like, fuck you, I'm not printing anything else. You're on your own, motherfucker. Go look for a pencil. So I did. But I got some paper out of that printer. And then I went looking for something to write on it with. And the only thing I could find was a bottle of ketchup. Now, I don't know about you, but my creative thoughts are sometimes complex, and it takes, a few paragraphs to work into the main comedic vein of the expression. And again, I'm, going for the comedic thing. I mean, you can just describe shit. I saw a dog. The dog pissed. And then the dog ate a cat. And then the dog shit on my porch. I mean, you can go with it, just descriptive kind of shit that goes on. But if you're going to work towards a comedic kind of routine, you have to build into it with some preamble and some kind of misdirection and so on and so forth, that when you finally get to the comedic line, it's completely unexpected. So all I could find was some ketchup. Have you ever tried to write a paragraph in ketchup? Doesn't work. First of all, you run out of ketchup, and you need bigger paper. Yeah. Why didn't they make paper bigger? It's always, it's about the width of a teenage girl, and it's the height of an erection of a black man. And so I don't know who worked on those dimensions. Maybe that's what they were thinking. How somehow that would be right. You could put enough words on a page that size. But if you're writing in ketchup, you need a much bigger piece of paper, or you need a bunch of paper. But then you got the organization problem, like a puzzle, okay? You do this one, do that one, do that one, do that one. Okay, organize those 1,000 pieces of paper so you know what I said. But I digress, right? Holy shit. I had this fantastic idea tonight, this concept about the way things fit together. So I opened up the Microsoft Word program, and it told me, you're fucked. You're going to have to wait 69 minutes until this program updates. And I did. And by the time the program got done updating, I had totally forgotten what the fuck it was I wanted to say. So now I got to use that old technique. Now, some of you guys know about this. So you're thinking something, you're sitting there at breakfast. You've all gone out for brunch on a Sunday. Bunch of people, you're sitting there on that rooftop deck, and they're bringing you the omelets and the chili verde and the margaritas. It's a nice Sunday morning down at some restaurant top beach, and so everybody's having a good time, bantering. And you have something to say, but everybody else has got to, talk. And then there's a pause in the conversation. And suddenly everybody looks at you like, hey, you haven't said anything. And so, you say, oh, well, and that's all you got. So then, one of the other people chimes back in with some irrelevant bullshit and about, how sunny it is, or what nice weather, or whatever the fuck. And so that really entertaining, interesting, comedic thing that you were going to say at exactly the right time, but couldn't because there were 12 other people, shooting at the target, trying to say something, and nobody was listening. You couldn't edge it in there. I mean, no matter how thin you make your thought, you're not gonna slip it in between the other conversations because they're all colliding. It's like a fucking kinetic war out there of words, and nobody's gonna hear what the fuck you have to say. And that's kind of like the way it is. I had a great idea. I had a fucking great idea. But now I'm going to have to use the old technique, which I referred to about a minute and a half ago. I'm going to have to use that technique where you have to think about something entirely different. I mean, you might have to think about throwing apples at trains, or you can think about, I don't know, running naked through a church and shitting on the altar. You have to take yourself outside the box. You got to think things you would never think in order to allow your brain to get back into gear and think about it, what it was that you wanted to think, or that you had thought actually, and then express it. If you can fucking slip the thought in between the kinetic war of words that is being waged by all the other people who think they have something important to say, as boring as they are. But I haven't been able to come up with it. No matter what kind of kinky, weird, deluded, destructive, evil thoughts I've tried to use that technique where you think about something entirely different and it will come back to you. It hasn't worked. So I guess I'll get back to this. Anyway, it's just, this is the way shit works. Consider it a philosophy lesson, consideration of the ways of the human mind. I don't know. I'm so disappointed. I can't think what I was thinking. Anyway.